Okay, another question. What is it that is aware of my thinking? Yeah. Your own presence, it's you which is aware of your own thinking. That's why sometimes it seems like there's two of you. There are the thoughts and the thinking, and then then there's that which is aware of it. But when you draw yourself in to your own presence, when you bring your attention to yourself, when you bring your attention, your awareness to the awareness, that's when you realize you are that awareness. You are the present moment. You are the presence. You are that. And everything else is happening within that. Thoughts happen within that. Everything else is around that. And the important thing is that, when I say the important thing, because that is an understanding of it, what I'm explaining. But the experience of that, the practice of that, is where you will find the freedom and you will have the quality of life that you are looking for, and so on. So, because the knowledge that, oh, that's me, the self is the presence, is only knowledge. The practice of it, of actually taking your presence, taking your attention into your own presence and being here in it, means that you're not inside the bubble of the self-seeking mind and how that sees the world. Because when you're inside that, you're looking through the lens of that. And then all of a sudden, everything seems so serious. Everything seems so critical from the inside. Because it has its value system. It's constantly comparing. There is this constant trying to, the nature of it is constantly trying to self-enhance. And it doesn't matter, there will be all different forms of that self-enhancement. The guy with the great body works on his body and gets a sense of self-worth and enhancement because of his body's great, one who's clever, one who has money. It doesn't matter what form it takes. And I'm giving you very broad roles which people play in this self-enhancement and so on to get their rewards. But, it's quite subtle, and then you will have within that your own particular nuance of it, in the sense of the conditioning and the trauma that you experienced as a child will shape how you go through that lens. But nevertheless, that lens will be a lens. And the freedom from that is to bring your attention to your own being, to bring your awareness here. And then you're no longer looking through that lens. Life isn't, because this lens is always going to tell you how serious it is. This lens is always going to be constantly comparing you to others. Because the comparison is to see how well I am doing. Because how well I am doing can only be answered in comparison to the others on the judgment scale. So that judgment never leaves you. And the heaviness of that judgment, and then you're constantly on, because you're constantly trying to gain ground. You're trying to impress, you're trying to look right, you're trying to sound right, And then there's those people who you really want to impress, and then there's those people you don't even care about, because why would you? They're nobody, right? um, that's how it works. That's its nature, right? And then when you breathe, you become present again. And it's to no longer be inside that bubble, no longer looking through that lens. Because the whole time you're looking through that lens, you will always be operating from that lens, meaning always operating from the nature of the self-seeking mind. So, you can be like, oh yeah, no, I get all of it. I used to be into material things, but now I'm into spiritual things. Still looking through the same lens, right? And I'm doing really well, and I'm becoming somebody really spiritual, and I'm really developed, and I'm more spiritual than most people, right? And because that's the self-seeking mind. It's the same nature. So you can have this. The self-seeking mind doesn't mind what role you play. It'll take any role, right? It will take any role and run the same program, because that's its nature. But what we're talking about is not another concept, not another becoming, not another self-seeking approach. It's coming out of that bubble and realizing that for what it is. And that's self-realization. That's the true nature of self-realization, is to see the bubble, to see it for what it is, to understand that the main framework is thought itself. It's a thought, it's a core approach to life. It's the nature of it is how you see life. And then that obviously then gives rise to smaller thoughts, which come from that viewpoint, that overview. But over here, you see it. Over here is the peace from it, because this doesn't ever stop. Is the peace. Right? And then also to realize that that's not real. It only appeared real when you were in there. The judgment system itself wasn't real. None of it was real. You're not more than anybody else. Somebody else is not more than you. Just all ideas, just concepts, which weighed so heavy on you. What will they think of me? I'm nobody. I'm ruined. I've turned out to be a failure. Whatever the thoughts are saying, I can't cope with all of this. I'm never going to get there. All of these thoughts are all just part of that sphere. They're not real. They're only real they are real to you when you're in them, of course. They will create tremendous stress. They will kill you. Those thoughts will literally kill you. So when you're in them, yes, they're real, but as you come here, maybe a little smile as you realize, it was all of that. And then so therefore to be present, to be with your own presence, to be here. That's of meaning. Okay.